Are new paths a scam? Another question asked to me by my viewers, asking me for my opinion. Now, to make this a little more interesting, because most people already know my thoughts on, are new archetypes, new paths, all this a scam? You know my answer is no, right? I believe that there's a pretty big double standard towards new paths that a lot of people ignore, and a lot of the issues that new path teams have, such as reliance on specific supports, huge jumps to their signature versus free to play option, all of these exact same things exist in other teams, right? But what makes it more interesting is if you change the discussion from their actual power to the way they play and their animations, right? And it's in this scenario where personally I am a believer that a majority of new path characters that are introduced in this game unfortunately don't really live up to the hype of what a new path character should be, right? And I have gone on record saying this, especially when it comes to Remembrance, for quite a long time now. In my eyes, the only real Remembrance character who is worthy of that path with how it reflects in their gameplay is Cassie, right? In my opinion, Cassie has the perfect gameplay, and her memo sprite is very, very prevalent in the way you play her. So it makes it really fun. On top of this, her memo sprite has a basic attack. You can continue using breaths or basic after using breaths, or you can choose to use the breath and just explode the dragon. She has an enhanced BA with the dragon as well. It feels like Cassie is a real memo sprite character. These two feel like a, ride or die duo almost in the way they play, and it feels amazing, right? But when you compare it to every other Remembrance character, no offense if other people have a differing opinion, every other Remembrance character's gameplay feels 10 times more boring and less interactive than Cassie's, right? You don't feel the presence of their memo sprites anywhere near as much as you feel Cassie's. There isn't anywhere near as much freedom with the memo sprite as there is with Cassie's. For example, Evernight, skill, explode, right? Hyacine, skill or ult, the memo sprite follows up, you can't interact with it at all. Aglaia, her memo sprite just does occasional follow-ups, and this is maybe the second closest since her attacks are considered a joint attack while Garment Maker is live, but even then I'd still give the edge to Cassie, and it's not really close in my eyes. So yes, I feel like this game does get away with lazily creating a lot of characters in a new path, and then only like one or two that they really want to focus on. Most of the time the main pushes actually feel like they deserve that new path, right? Now, in Elation, I feel like it's a bit different here. I do feel like that they've treated Elation a slight bit better in comparison to Remembrance when it comes to its characters. Now, I will say there is one Elation character who personally I just really don't feel it when it comes to their gameplay as an Elation path, and that is Yao Guang. Now, this isn't too surprising because she's like a mainly support character. Obviously, her animations aren't going to be the craziest because of that, and that means she's basically automatically at the bottom. However, outside of Yao Guang and outside of maybe Evanesia, I feel like EMC, Silverwolf, and as well as Sparksy actually really well fit into the Elation path with the way their gameplay is and also their animations. Silverwolf gets a completely different design. She's flying around, she has wings, she's able to, throw a nuke, a dragon breath, right? She's able to summon Pac-Man. You can see that there was a lot of effort that went into her to make her fit into the Elation path. Obviously normal for a main push. So I have zero issues with Silverwolf. The Elation character who most embodies the Elation path for me, to probably no one's surprise, is obviously Sparksy. Considering Sparksy is not a main push character, they did an incredible job with her. All her animations across the board are incredibly goofy and are very, very fitting of Elation. And in my opinion, they are really, really different as well from OG Sparkle, which makes it enjoyable to see that contrast, right? And then the other one is just a free character, EMC. EMC does really feel like an Elation character. They are goofy. He has like this lightsaber thingy. His ult targets allies, and he has pretty funny voice lines as well. So, although Remembrance, to me, was hard carried animations wise, and a character actually, embodying what their path is in the gameplay by Cassie, Elation has been doing a much, much better job, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people obviously may hold a different opinion. This is just mine. I do feel like Elation characters, a majority of them so far, do actually fit into their path with the way they play, and it doesn't all feel like a scam like Remembrance did for me. So yeah, that's about it. It'll be exciting to see how things may or may not change with the release of Pearl and Nihilux. Pearl, I'm a little skeptical about. I wouldn't be surprised if Pearl is a bit of a Yao Guang situation for me, where I feel like she doesn't really fit the Elation path gameplay-wise. However, I would be very taken aback if Nihilux, of all people, didn't impress me, considering I do believe she is the next main push for this version, and if she's Elation, that means she should get some very, very special treatment, and I am looking forward to seeing how well she embodies Elation in her own gameplay. Love you all. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Hope you all have a great day. Hope you all have a great night, and peace out.